This is Kugan Cassius for iFLTV. Delighted to be joined by Darren Barker here in Manchester, but the show's in Altrincham. How are you, first of all?
Very well. You've gone up in the world. You don't have tripods anymore. You got people that hold the camera for you.
We hold the camera for each other, thank you very much.
Do you really? I've not seen you hold a camera.
What?
Well, only when you're interviewing people.
Who did you just interview? Conor Benn, and who holds the camera for you, Joseph?
Andy.
Prick.
Is this the new format then?
It's not a new format, we've been doing it for years.
No, it's just don't interview
We're not
me.
divas here, do you know what I mean? We help each other. Anyway, how are you?
Yeah, I am well. I'm really well. Getting back to work. Yeah, looking forward to Friday. Should be a good show. And yeah, generally I've been all right, mate. I'm less busy when I'm at work. When I'm at home, I'm 100 miles per hour with the kids. So it's a little, don't tell my wife, it's a breather when I come to
I'm going
work.
to clip this out and send it to her anyway. Pat Brown debuts at Cruiserweight this Friday night. Excited about that?
I am. For numerous reasons. I think first and foremost, he's a lovely bloke. He's a lovely fella. And I think we will all see on Friday, with the support that he has, translates to why he sells so many tickets, because he's such a lovely fella. Stylistically and talent-wise, he's got it all. I think first and foremost, he's quick. He's got a brilliant boxing brain that comes through the amateurs. You don't become an Olympian if you can't fight. And I think probably what the fans will be most happy about is he can punch. He can punch with both hands, and you know yourself, we all know, if you can dispatch your opponents in brutal fashion, then you've almost got one leg up. You've got a bit of an advantage to really build an even bigger profile than he will already have.
Is that why you just relied on your talent? Yeah.
Exactly that, yeah. Just speed and the worry of getting hit.
You still got up from Gill. Resilience in you anyway.
Yeah, there was big money riding on that.
One of the best moments in British boxing.
Thank you, mate.
It was. Cameron Vong and Jordan Flynn finally will get it on this Friday night. Yeah, this needs to be put to bed now. It's been spoken about pretty much for the last 12 months.
I've got a feeling, though, and God willing, we do get the fight. I don't think this will be the end of the rivalry.
No, I don't think it will be.
I think there's going to be, maybe future fights, who knows. But what my takeaways are that Jordan Flynn is a massive wind-up merchant, and there was times, not just on the stage there this afternoon, in the build-up, it does look like he's got under his skin a little bit, Cameron Vong, but this is all part of learning and experience. When you move forward, you would have, if there is a fight of this magnitude with bragging rights on the line, then you'll be used to it and you can handle it a little bit better. But I think the fight itself, stylistically, I think it's going to gel to, I guess you could say, inexperienced professionals. I think the occasion may get to them, and that, for us as fans, will generate more excitement. I think they're going to have to be told numerous times by their corners to rein it in a little bit, get back to your boxing, because I think the fire, that will to win from both, is going to be so evident on Friday.
Also in action, the very exciting Conor Tudsbury, William
You
Collar.
you look like you're going to fall asleep.
No. No, I wasn't. No.
Very Tudsbury.
I'll pick that back up. Also in action.
There we go.
Don't, because I'm one or the other. Conor Tudsbury, William Cruller, Taylor Bevan. Yes, next gen, there's a whole host of kind of up-and-coming stars on this bill. Yeah.
Really looking forward to the trio that you just mentioned. Three wrecking balls, if you like. Will Cruller, ridiculous. His rise to where he is has been spectacular. Taylor Bevan, what a talent. He really looks the real deal. And Conor Tudsbury, it was a nervy opening round, and he said there he was a little bit, felt the pressure slightly of wanting to perform and look good, but he got the job done in very good fashion in the second round. So they're a trio, not just to watch on Friday night, to watch in the future. Real talent.
Absolutely. Just a couple of other things I'm going to chuck at you before I let you go. Ben Eubank is 1 month, was it yesterday?
Yep.
Today. It's coming around quick.
It is. It is. You usually get that, don't you? You get the real high peak of the announcement, then the press tour, and it's all, up here. And then it plateaus a little bit, and they get to work, and they do their thing, and it's going to start ramping up again as the days tick on. And what an occasion. Like, I remember the dads rivalry. I remember watching, certainly the second fight, the draw, the controversial draw, and the dislike between Ben and Eubank will be forever. As long as there's Ben and Eubank on earth, they will not get along. And that is so evident between the two sons. And I just think it's going to be a blockbuster. And I've said this so many times when I'm asked about the fight. That moment where the referee brings them to the middle of the ring. Right? And I get excited even thinking about that. That moment, the referee brings them to the middle of the ring. And then he gives them their instructions, goes over the rules and sends them back to the corner. Can you imagine the energy, the atmosphere in that stadium? A stadium that I have to give credit to, as much as I hate Tottenham.
I agree with what you're about to say.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
That energy in that remarkable stadium is going to be electric, and I'm all for this. I'm all for this. Whether you love Eubank, you hate him. Whether you love Conor Benn or you hate him, you are going to watch this event because it's special. This is quite unique in that the rivalry that the dads have, the son now have. They will never get along, and I think we can all agree that this fight will deliver.
Lots of subplots to this.
Here's my T-boy there. Quickly pan round. Quick. My T-boy, look. Good boy, Jamie. Thank you very much, sir. He has actually done it. What a legend. Thank you, mate. And I don't know if you know, he's just got off a plane. Literally about 3 hours ago, he's got off his flight from Sydney.
You've been to Australia?
I've been there. It's really, really good. But what I will say is he wants everyone to know about it. Everyone to know what a warrior is. No one made him stay 2 days extra. He's basically come back off of holiday and he's getting his violin out. But thank you for the coffee, mate.
I promised it was Daniel Gill.
Did you? Oh. Is he still sulking?
That was harsh. 100 grand fine. Bit much?
How they come up with the figure, I don't know. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. But I'll have to agree with what Paul Smith pointed out. Where does it go? And I think there's a real opportunity there for the board to do something good with fighters' misfortunate behaviour in build-up. So if they're going to find fighters in the future for misdemeanours, is that the right word? For things that they shouldn't do, it should go somewhere. I was talking to an ex-footballer actually, and they were saying that what they did, ex-Chelsea footballer, what they did was any fines that they got for players being late, blah blah blah, they got a kitty, and if someone, just say for instance someone in the club's family member died or something, they'd pay for the funeral. Out of that, they'd do something good with that part. Where I'm trying to go with it is the board have that opportunity. Let's put it to something positive because there are a lot of fighters that do struggle in retirement or, whilst they're going through battles. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, just to add on this is last Thursday. I did ring Robert Smith a couple of times. I haven't spoken to him, but he did send me this message. Which I'm sure he won't mind me reading. All fines go to British Boxing Board of Control charity to assist ex-boxers in need and medical seminars, etc. The board do not receive any of the money, all to charity. That's what Robert Smith said.
Well, it aligns with exactly what I've just said there, and I'm really happy to hear that. Look, I know that for some reason the board get a bit of stick from certain people. I've never had anything bad to say against the board. They've got a tough job, and you've got to remember, and I will say, we are the safest board in the world as far as medical procedures and all that go. But yeah, if that's where the money goes, then brilliant.
The £1 million bet between Chris Eubank and Eddie Hearn. Have you kept up to date with what's been going on here?
Yeah, the bet that can't be a bet. Yeah. I don't know what I want to say about it.
Obviously it started with Ben Shalom and Eddie Hearn having kind of a loose discussion about potentially having a bet, and now Chris Eubank stuck it on Hearn for this £1 million bet. But as far as we're aware, no one with a licence can actually have a bet. So
No, because I don't think anyone can be trusted in this whole situation. Say if, for instance, they did it behind closed doors, right? Let's have a bet on the mill. Say, for instance, Eubank was to win. Could Eddie trust Eubank to keep his mouth shut? That he's just won $1 million? I don't think he could. Would Ben Chalon, would Eddie, if Eddie was to win? I don't know. I think it's too risky to, if you're going to get in a lot of trouble from the board and, potentially risk your licence being taken away. I don't know what the punishment is, but you just can't risk it, can you? But I don't know if there was any, thought in that, in offering the bet. Who was the first to initiate the bet?
Eddie to Ben. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think it started off at 100 grand, didn't it?
Well, I think Ben done 10 grand to Eddie, and then Eddie done a mil back or something.
But yeah, pretty much a load of bollocks anyway. Because when when fighters go, "God, I bet your purse against mine," and all this stuff, it never happens, and like these bets never ever materialise, as far as I know.
I've never been one to gamble really. I've the odd accumulator, but I don't. This is sport at the end of the day. You can win some and you can lose some. I think putting your purse on it doesn't show that you're not confident. It's like, look, I understand that this is boxing. I could get knocked out. I really think I'm going to win, but I'm not going to bet my purse on it.
I will say one thing. Chisora had a bet with Hay all them many years ago, and it was a bet for a selected charity for each one. And 2 days after Chisora lost, he actually went and gave the money to Hay's charity. I remember that because we were there to film it. So yeah.
Fair play. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but don't really know what to say. If I'm honest.
Last one. Who wins Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul?
I mean, it's ludicrous. I mean, this obviously isn't real, is it? I think Jake Paul's a genius in what he does to get the profile.
Are you saying it's impossible to happen?
It will never happen. It will never happen. I 100% guarantee that fight does not happen. I'm not even 99.9% sure. I'm 100% sure. Because he's a smart man, Jake Paul.
Eddie said this yesterday, and I do believe Eddie when he says this, yeah. He says he truly believes, yeah, that Jake Paul actually thinks that, like, he could go and do something with Canelo and Anthony Joshua. He actually thinks that Jake Paul actually thinks that way.
No, I think he's a genius, Jake Paul, in the way he generates buzz and noise. It surrounds his name through the stupid statements that he says. They're stupid in far as predictions are concerned, but they're not stupid in the sense of the buzz and the publicity he gets from them. There is no way he believes he can beat Canelo. There is no way he believes he can beat Anthony Joshua. One's madness. I see something with Paul Smith the other day to mention him again. Paul Smith, he's right. He's been on the couch for however many long, and he would beat him with one arm. I'm sure he would. But I, on the other side, I really believe he's a smart man, and I give Jake Paul a lot of credit for putting himself into the hardest sport in the world.
Would you beat Jake Paul now?
Would I?
Yeah.
Not right now. I think if you was to give me 10 to 12 weeks training camp, I think I would comfortably beat him. Yeah.
It's a funny one with retired fighters because obviously, like, if it's Bellew, Froch, whatever, because regardless of whatever, in yourself, you have been out the ring for quite a considerable amount of time.
That's the thing. I said this.
That's the only thing.
I said this to Tony Bellew, and I said, I sized him up at the Jake Paul, the Nate Diaz fight versus Jake Paul. I was commentating in Dallas, and I thought, let me have a look at him. I was right by his corner, and he come out, and I thought, flipping heck, he's a lump. If he caught me, I've got no hope. I've been out the ring ages. Like you say, your punch resistance, your timing, your this, everything is just shot to pieces. So. Yeah, that's the thing. If I was to get hit, what if I was to get hit on the top of the head and you do the funny dance and all that? I don't know. This is the fighter in me. I've got to be honest. The fighter in me says there's no way that man could beat me. But then there is the obvious signs of aging that I would have had. I've had a good 10 years. I mean, I've not had a drink for 2 years, but I did for 8 years. And that's got to take its toll, hasn't it? So, I don't know. I'd like to think I could beat him.
Well, we're never going to find out because you're happily retired, obviously.
Yeah. I mean,
unless the money's right.
Cheeky Mill wouldn't go amiss.
Well, there you go.
Nigel Travis just said that Darren dumped him.
I
couldn't hear what you said.
So he's just said that Nigel Travis said I ducked him in the amateurs. Probably true. He was at the lodge.
Are you talking about Jake Paul?
No. Nigel Travis was at the lodge, Fitzroy Lodge. I'll let him have that one. He would have been too big, too strong for me.
All right, Triple T, Frotch.
I'm just saying it just in case he comes behind me and kegs me.
Darren Barker, thank you very much for your time.
Cheers.
We'll let you get on with coffee and food and whatever else, and we look forward to a great night in Altrincham live on the Zone on Friday night.
I agree. Thank you very much for having me.